Hello, everybody, or nobody. Let's get started. I know there's no one, looks like there's no one watching just yet, but welcome to Fully Defined. My name's Chris, and tonight we're going to do some SolidWorks practice using two tall TOBY'S practice models. And hello, Atse. Nice to see you, mate. How are you? Hope you are well. We're going to also, so in this stream, anyone that tunes into the replay, we're going to look at the World Championship first round from the weekend too, do some live reactions to what the guys were modeling, maybe have a go at a couple of those models. We'll do some tier 3 and above practice models, and yeah, we'll see what else we get up to. But I've got a bit of time tonight, so yeah, let's get into it. Busy at work? Very good. I'd say, what do you do? Are you an engineer or designer? Curious to know. We're going to start this stream with the CAD challenge that's up at the moment on the home page of the practice models, which we can find here, play and learn practice models. And I'm not going to do this one, which is a tier 1 in 6 seconds. I'm never going to bother with that. But tier 5, we'll have a go. And this tier 5 model, we've actually done it before. That's this one here, MINWATEX's subscription model. R&D product engineer. Awesome. I'm very similar. My title is product design engineer, but I basically do R&D kind of work and develop products from scratch. So yeah, cool. All right, so this model, we'll reveal a drawing and just have a look at that one. It is a patterned model, which means it's kind of complicated for one part, but you only have to make one and then you pattern it. And that's where this hint, this dimension is helpful, because that's actually telling you the center line that you need to revolve around. No, product engineer is much higher than janitor. You get to use fun tools like SolidWorks. So the key geometry in this, it's really this one shape all on the left. So half a slot with then some smaller slots in it and some elements that are bent around. And you can do it from sheet metal or solid features. And once you get the shape right, the dimensions, so long as you get the offset correct for where the part is, you'll be able to pattern it, and the two parts will then interlink. So that's what we're going to do. We have done it before, so not on stream, but we do have the existing model here. Now this one is different dimensions, so I cannot just open it up straight away and use the answer. I did this when it was on a Monday live stream. Now as a practice model, we will have to tweak some of those dimensions. But we can see how we built it last time and work on improving the process. So we built a single extrude. If we just have a look at our planes, we did that on the front plane and went backwards. We then did the bend around the edge. How did I do that? I did that with an L shape, extruded all the way through. I did the internal bends, this radius 1 that you can see on the left, the one on the outside. I then cut them through, cut off the angles, did the hole. I had to do a plane to get the pattern in the right position, and then pattern. Why not hem? Well, I didn't do this with sheet metal, so you could definitely use hem. Maybe I should use sheet metal, but no, I think I'll stick with solid bodies for this one. But it is a really good point. There's probably a much easier way to do it rather than building them up bit by bit the way that I've done it in this one. So let's try a different approach and see how we can go doing that. So we'll start a new part. This is plain carbon steel millimeters. And what I'm going to do, a little bit different. Can I get it on an angle? The angle is 45 degrees. So how could we do this? I was going to see if I could just sketch that whole shape, because I could do it as like an extrude thin. But I'm wondering if I need to set up a plane first. That would be like at a 45-degree angle. I could sketch on that, then extrude it all out. Is there a quicker way to do it without that plane? Probably. Or I could just do it on the front plane. It doesn't actually matter. Like the angle doesn't matter, only the pattern matters, right? So I could just go here, let's go right plane, and just sketch it, imagining that it's actually bent up the right way around. 3-point rectangle, fill at the bottom. Yeah, but what I'm actually going to do is this side profile. I'll show you now. Hello Guy, welcome to the stream. So let's stop talking and just get it done. I'm just going to use the origin like this. I know it's not perfect, but we will just give it a go. This is 6, and then this is, doesn't say how long it is, 45 to the end, and the thickness is 3, 2, wall thickness 2. So I got to go from there to there. No, I can't even do that. From an end point to that one because it's not straight. I'll have to work out the maths for this, which is 45 minus 3, 42. Okay, trim that and then extrude. Thickness of 2, got to go on the outside. And then this is going to go, let's go mid plane at least, and it's 28. Okay. Then we can full round fillet. I wonder if it's quicker to do the cuts all in one. Probably. So we actually go onto this face and what am I going to do? This is pretty slow, but there's probably quicker ways than doing it like this, which we might come back to. And then a couple of slots. There is 3 slots. The slots are radius 2, which means that becomes 4. And the height of those is 14. The distance between those is 4. We'll linear pattern them. So it's going to be 8. 3 of those. Drop this one on the origin. And 1, 2, 3 down. We can put our circle in here as well. The circle is 4. It is 10 from the origin of that circle, the center point of that circle. It's quite close to the top. And if I just do a construction line here and put a dimension in that, 45, that's done. Do simple fillet, R14, two edges is faster than full round fillet, only difference you get two faces instead of one. Yep, but I'm skipping that entirely. I'm just going to do some cuts. So I'm going to use select contours here, and I'm going to cut. I can't cut those faces because I didn't do the sketch on that face. This is a bit of a flaw here. So if I change my sketch from this face to this face, then when I do cut selection, I'll be able to select contours and select those sections that I want removed. Now, the same thing for these. I have to select all of those faces and then go through all both. But now I've got the shape very quickly. So then I can do tapering. Now they taper to a point which is 6 millimeters from the end. And is that here? That's 6 millimeters, yep. We could chamfer 2x6, but then I have to do lots of selections. So I could do a asymmetric chamfer 2x6 and select the edge, but I'd have to flip it. I don't think this would work very well. Because every second one, yeah, it's going to do that. So I don't want to do it that way. So even though this might be quicker to do for that first extrude thin and to get that shape, when I compare to the other version, this one, let me just roll back a second. Because this time, the first time I did it, I just did a boss, fillet, cut, cut, cut. Lots of little steps, but they were very easy. This time around, I'll have to repeat a step over and over. I don't want to do that. Although maybe I could just do one cut, one shape like this. Can I cut one? Select the contour. Just go blind 2, and I could pattern that. Is that what I pattern it? Direction 4, 8. That works. Okay, that's not too bad. Hello, Hets. Welcome. Sure. You watch the replay later. Got any questions? Just drop them in the chat. Okay, that linear pattern is reasonable. Have we finished the model? Oh, we have. So now I just need to get the right sketch for the pattern. So this is where, if we can get a line in the right position, so 45, and then it's 10 from the circle. Now this is a test. I'm not sure if we've got it in the right spot. Selecting the line to a circular pattern, selecting the body. No, not like that. Clear selections. I want to select bodies. I want to select this line to pattern around. I just want to do 2. Okay. How are we looking? Have we done it right? 33.6. Let's see if that's the answer. Yeah. All right, a lot less features than the previous option here. I think we could do that really quick, really fast, actually. As long as we're happy to kind of sketch it on the side, like if I go to my front view, it looks like this, but that's fine. We'll submit that time. And we'll quickly save the model. Just get the name right. So, practice models, MINWATEX. Okay. We need to get some colors applied to it too. We have a bronze and a silver, looks like. Brushed bronze and a matte silver. Cool. Quick screen. Saves me time later. All right. So to do this faster, we need to just remember what we've sketched and how, and what these dimensions are. Could we do it with a... Is it quicker to do it with a slot? Probably not. We want to go 6 to 42, extrude it. Let me cancel this. Extrude it then 28. Then do the sketch on this plane. We want to do those two circles. Get that hole in the right spot. In this sketch, I can also do this line. That is going to help. It's going to save me having to do an extra feature, extra separate sketch. So we do that cut. That cuts all the slots. We do one cut for one of the spikes. We pattern that. And then we do the pattern and we're done. And the answer we're looking for is 33.6. Okay. Let's give that a go. Attempt 1. I'd say it's had a go already. We'll have a look at his version after this. Got your message. Right plane is where we'll sketch to start. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, let's go. Right plane. We're coming down 6, around 2, up, and up 42. Yep, drop that on the origin. Make sure that's vertical. Is that vertical? Not tangent. Make it tangent. Okay, extrude, thin feature, out, distance 28. Looking okay. Next, the sketch. So we want to do a circle that is 28. We want to do a circle that is 4. We want that circle to be 10 millimeters from there. We also want to do a couple of slots. Slots we can pattern. These slots are 14 by 4. We're going to pattern 3 of those. They're going to be 8 millimeters apart. We're going to drop this one on the midpoint. We're going to drop this one in line and make sure it is tangent. We're going to make sure then there's a line there and there's another line here. These two are going to be parallel for construction. They're both going to be 45-degree angles. This one is going to be 10 millimeters apart from that one. And now we're going to do a cut. So I'm going to select contours. And I'm selecting all the places that I want to cut. and I'm going to go through both. Then I'm going to jump onto this one here. I'm going to draw quick contour again, do another selected contours, and this one just go blind 3 millimeters. I'm going to pattern that one. It's going to pattern along this way, and then I'm going to use not that sketch, this sketch line to circular pattern the body. And the answer, oh, I've got something wrong. Damn. Thought that was pretty quick, but I think there's something wrong here. I think I might have extruded. I think that dimension, yeah, radius of 2, that should be 1. All right, that looks better, 33.6. And we're done. 3 minutes, even with a little mistake. It's not too bad. Too bad. It was just when I did that sketch, I put in the diameter instead of the radius. But otherwise, that's reasonably quick, yeah. Let's submit that and just see where we go on the leaderboard. We will have the first community tutorial in there, which would be good. As for speed runs, those guys are pretty quick. Costco, minute 20, 50. We will be 7th. Yeah. We could probably go a bit faster, but I don't think I can get under a minute 30 for that. All good. All right, we'll leave that open because I'll come back to that later. Artsays, let's have a look at Artsays' file. See how he's done it. That is opening, I think. Come on. Doesn't want to open. All right. He's done the sheet metal version. Base flange. Oh yeah, interesting. Rectangle. Done the hem. Cut the slots. Cut the teeth. Break corner. Cool. Circle. Pattern. Axis and pattern. Yep, axis works. Nice work, mate. All right, let's go on to the next one. What we'll do is we'll do a model. So I want to get through, I've got a tier 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oh, hey, what's up?
Are you live?
I am.
Oh.
Would you like to talk about something?
Yeah, there's no water. That's off to 1 AM.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to take you.
Thanks. Yeah, we'll do one model and then we'll look at one of the live stream videos, World Championship models. So yeah, I think that'll be fun. Try that out. So let's close this one and let's jump into this. This one is a tier 3. Click here to begin. So I haven't seen this before, brand new. And let's reveal drawing and have a look at the model. All right, this is a inches plain carbon steel. A bit annoying, but so be it. It is a symmetrical model, which means we could probably just do a revolve. So you do a sketch for a revolve and then you do a cut. There is an alternative where you do a couple of extrudes. So you can do an extrude at the bottom shape, which is that 3.63. And then you do another extrude for the other section. You have to do it, the draft angle is the annoying part. A little chamfer on the top, annoying as well. So yeah, I think revolve is the way to go to do this really quickly. So you do a revolve, you do one of the holes, and then you pattern the holes, or you do a sketch pattern for the holes and cut them all through at the same time. Let's jump in and give it a go. I don't think this one will take us too long. All right, so front plane, construction line up the middle, and then we want to try and grab whatever dimensions we can from this section view. Now, always start your sketch outside. And first up, I'm just going to go all the way to the top because I do have an overall height, which will help me. Actually, I don't. I have to add it up. That's annoying. 2.88 plus 0.25. All right. Now we've got the little edge. We can see in the detail view, 0.06. And then there's a chamfer here. We'll put the angle on later. A straight edge coming down, which is 0.375 from the very top. So we won't put that dimension in yet either. Then we have an angle coming down. There is a radius which we can put in, 0.25, and then draw out our horizontal edge. We can put the other radius in, 0.125, straight down, in, out again to the bottom, and then close up the sketch. Now in doing it that way, we've added a few dimensions as we've gone through. But we have to go back and add some more. Where the shape isn't quite right, that's fine. As we add the dimensions, we will get the right size. So let's do the hole in the middle. 2.067. Don't put the radius, you need the edge for the dimension. It's a good point. We'll get to it. All right. We'll see if there's a way to do it without. Outside diameter, 6.5. Height of the bottom section, 0.25. Dimension of this bottom section, 3.63. What else do we have? This angle, 37.5. We also want to put in the height from here to the top, 0.375. Let's bring this back. Let's make this horizontal. The diameter from the outside edge to the center line, 2.38. The angle, so we don't have an angle, that's the one we need. We do have a height here, which is 1. And I can make that tangent. And I can make that tangent. All right, so Atse's point is that by putting this radius in here, this one, I don't have a position where I can actually add the dimension, because it says the 3.31 to the virtual sharp. The virtual sharp means the 2 corner points before the radius is taken off. And you can see that on the drawing, because it's got this little marker here. All right, hello, Jen. Thanks for jumping on. Hope you're well. Just going through some practice models, and we will do some live stream reactions very soon. All right, so this is a little trick for anyone that didn't know how to get a virtual sharp from something that you have already sketched. Or you can also do this when you're converting edges. Okay, so it might be in relationship or in relative to, let's say, other geometry that already exists. Right? You do not have to delete the fillet that you have. So I'd say I'd be very interested to know if you knew this trick or not. So if I've got this line here and this line here, I can grab I can select both lines. So I'm holding control, and then I hit the point tool, and it adds the virtual sharp for me. With that virtual sharp there, I can select that point as a virtual sharp, go to my origin, and then go across and get my dimension in place. Let me know in the chat if you knew how to do that already. Love to hear if you did. There we go, that's one. Okay, so that, I think that's everything we need in our sketch. We'll revolve that. There you go. It's worthwhile jumping on the stream, working with a certified expert. I learnt that 6-7 years ago, but I didn't know it for a very long time. Thank you, Gummy and Atse. Let's do that hole on the top now. Those patterns. So we'll do, one of those holes is 5 divided by 8. They are 2.5 from the middle. I'm going to make it vertical. I'm going to do the sketch pattern here. Just bump that up to 8. And then I'm not going to fully define them. Just skip that and go through all for the cut. That should be done now. The answer 9.611. Correct. All right. Cool. So submit that one. Nice little tier 3 model. Color of that, it's kind of another metally one. So we'll put some metal on that. Just get a, well, that's a bit much. Matte. Oh, didn't say that. That's okay. We're going to do it a speed run again in a second anyway. But yeah, nice one, SolidWorks. All I was doing was trying to add a material. All right. Pardon me for a second while I just reorganize myself. And let's get set up again. IPS plain carbon steel. And now we have to work out how we can do it fast. Now, obviously, doing that virtual sharp point is quite slow. All right, you've got to grab both lines, put a sketch point in, then dimension it. So I do think in the aim of speed modeling, we skip it. We add those 2 radiuses after. At least you can still do the radiuses in the sketch, but we would want to do the dimensions before we add the radiuses, because the dimension will actually retain its 2 reference points to that virtual sharp even when you add the fillet. So let's do it that way. All right, we're on the front plane. We're going to reset this timer and then we're going to go. These numbers are all, because they're imperial, it's not an easy one to memorize and do in order perfectly. So I expect that this one's going to be pretty slow for a tier 3. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So front plane, new sketch, construction line, done. And then next line, what we say, 2.88 plus 0.25. And then we're coming out 0.06, angle, down, angle, out, down 1, across, down 0.25, across. And making that line horizontal, getting that all in line here, getting that one horizontal. That one is already horizontal. Now we can add some dimensions. So I've got that virtual shaft there. We're going to put that one in. I'm going to put the outside in. This one. Inside. It's the inside, 2.067. Outside of that one, 2.38. All right, now some angles. This one is 37.5. This point to the top, 0.375. All right, now we can radius. So I'm going to fillet that one is 0.25. And then outside one there is going to be 125. Okay. Revolve. And then on the top here, if we just do the circle like this, make it for construction, do another circle here. The hole is 5 divided 8. I'm going to select that and do a circular pattern. 8 of those. Extrude cut through all. And then that's our answer, 9.611. 2 minutes. Done. Maybe slow, but if I'm speed modeling, match, and troubleshooting, I need the point you saved per day. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Arte. And yeah, 2 minutes, not too bad. Let's save it before we lose it again. Practice models. 2-inch weld neck flange. Cool, and let's get a screenshot too. And carbon steel. There we go. All right. Hope that was good. Let's see how he went on the leaderboard. Is that... Gotta get back one to do that. I think. Yeah. Speed runs. We're at 2 minutes. No one's done this one. Super fast. Top 100. I'm at number 2. Cypress, super fast at a minute. Very nice. A lot of on-shape guys. Mesa makes 3 minutes. Nice work. Number 2, not too bad. All right. Let's do. I would assume most people here had seen the live tournament from the weekend. Unfortunately, it's at 4 AM for me. So, and I'm going away on holidays. So I was going to miss some of the rounds. So I could not sign up to this one. Wouldn't be right. Bit of a bummer, but still get to watch them and have a go. So what we're going to do now is a little bit of a live react to those models to see how they actually went about it, provide some commentary. I know in the tournament, Toby provides commentary, but it's a little bit different because he's live. He doesn't want to give away the answers. He knows, he knows the way to do it. So yeah, that's really interesting. I look at these guys, guys and girls doing these models, and I'm like, wow, I wish I could do it this. I'd do it this way, or I can see where they get stuck, and it's like, yeah, just do this, and you'd be right. So, a little bit of an experiment. Let's see how we go with this. I will turn the sound on so you can hear too, and if it goes too slow, we can always speed it up. So this is the first battle, and I am going to focus on the SolidWorks guys, of course. Let's see what comes up.
CAD begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part? in X.XXX pounds. So
Very
two
similar to the
users
part
from
we've just
Europe,
done.
the very first challenge, it's in pounds. What do you think about that, chat? That's pretty.
All right, I'll just mute Toby for a second. So when you look at this, it's very similar to what we've just done, like almost identical. Sorry, I should have got a screenshot just so I could refer to it later and talk through it. All right. Is that playing? Yeah, he's playing.
Into their CAD system, so I'm not going to belabor this at all. I'm just going to jump right in and watch how they do it. So we see here this is like a flange coupling.
So both in SolidWorks, Jakob and MrAlex. I could see the symmetry idea that MrAlex has. So this is, I should say, this is one model that I have seen. I haven't seen the others, but this is a one that I did view already. I do like the idea of just doing half of it, primarily because of the chamfer in the top edge. It's just gonna, if you're sketching a revolve, and even the fillets on the outside edges, if you just do half of it, it's a very quick revolve, then mirror the whole body, and you're done, and then you just do the 4 holes. All right, as you can see with on the left, what Jakob's doing is he has to add kind of extra dimensions or extra relations to get everything lined up. All right, before he can do that next step to go to the solid body. And so that can just takes extra time. And you can see that coming through with Alex. He's already got that first solid body, and now he can mirror. So what's he choosing to do here? He's selecting the edge to do the fillet. I probably would have done that fillet in the sketch. This is very quick. Just select one edge or 2 edges, even on Jakob's side. Select those 2 edges, go bang, fillet, done. He's putting the chamfer in the feature. In this case, the chamfer. See, the tricky thing with the chamfer, it doesn't tell you. You have to manually calculate the dimension because you've got this, the 2 and the 1.875. And so that's what MrAlex has done. He's gone back into the sketch to add that chamfer in. So I would have done that in that first original sketch before doing the first revolve. Whereas Jakob's been able to work out how to do that chamfer from a feature and calculate it, and then he's straight in. Artsay says, do mid-plane extrude twice, then chamfer the inner face. Yes, you could also chamfer the inner face. Pardon the ads. I'll try and skip those as soon as we can. You can see all the ads that come through here. Maltese is Australia. I wonder if I get a SolidWorks with the Aryan ad. Nope, this is a piano one. This is great stuff. Okay. So the pattern looks fine. You know, the pattern's a pretty straightforward thing. But now Jakob has to go and do those fillets on the outside. He's selecting the edges. Don't select, if you've got to do 2 fillets and they're the same, select the face. You select 1 face instead of 2 edges, quicker. So he's put his answer in, 2.893. Yeah, get a Brave browser. I'd say I don't mind ads. They're all right. So Jakob's going back now and changing. Let's hear some of the commentary.
Wait, what is that? 2.84. That is not correct. MrAlex,
So both had it wrong.
2.834. That is not correct either. Sorry, guys, the light in this room is like kind of messing with me. 2.893, not correct. 2.834, not correct. Yeah. So both of them,
super intense now.
both of our runners have made some type of an error. Both of our runners need to go through, re-examine their design, see if they can figure out where that error is. You're allowed to answer once incorrectly, and then your second answer is kind of your final chance. If you get it wrong the second time, then that's going to be it, and that is going to establish what we call the clock of doom. So it's kind of nerve-wracking here to decide if you're going to answer the second time or if you're going to, take your time and and keep checking because you don't know what the other user is doing.
So they're all
you know,
checking the
this is
dimensions.
what makes these tournaments so exciting. What a great way to kick off this tournament. Guys, if you're enjoying this tournament, now that we're back on the rails, be sure to hit the like button.
So easy,
be sure to subscribe to the channel. This is pretty darn exciting. So you can see here that Jakob is bringing up a mass, but he's not sure if he wants to commit. If he commits to this mass now and it's incorrect, then he is going to be out for this round. Oh, but he does commit 2.871. And guys, that is not correct. 2.871, and that is not correct. And so it is going to be up to MrAlex. MrAlex comes in with an answer, 2.864. And that is correct. And congratulations to MrAlex. He did it. He got it correct. Wow, 2.864.
All right, we'll pause it there and we'll have a go because I think it should be pretty straightforward, this one. All right. Now, by no means am I saying these guys have done or like had a major stuff up. Nothing like that. When you're under the spotlight and doing it live, it makes it really difficult to concentrate and do things really accurately. Like, yeah, mistakes happen. So, yeah, but just here for learning, we're going to try and just nail the very quick and accurate way of doing this model. I'm going to do the half one like MrAlex did. So I'm going to start with a construction line, which we need for the revolve. And then I'm going to draw the shape. So I'm going to start here, just come straight up, do my chamfer edge, come down. And then I'm going all the way to the outside and back to the middle. And so already with that simple sketch, I've got the chamfer at the top. I've got the outside edge ready, but I'll add the fillet before I do the revolve. Now we just need to add dimensions. So as long as you can read the dimensions clearly, you should be good. You want to make sure here I'm doing half. So that's 0.3. All right, that's really important because got to remember I'm going to mirror that. 3.875 for overall. And then the inside is 1.875. The outside is 2. Now we've got to just reposition our chamfer. This is a 45 degree. And then we get our height, our overall height. If we go from here to here, it is 2. And then we've got to find that edge. Sorry, I got my dimension wrong. This inside is 1.5. It is this top edge that is 1.875. All right, so that's a like foolproof way to do that chamfer. Can then hit revolve. I can then hit this face here and do a mirror bodies. Now I should have, one thing I didn't do, I should have just in this revolve here done that fillet, which is 0.125 here. Okay. Now that fillet's on both faces. Is that dimension right? 600. Yep, 600. And then it's the holes. So sketch, we can see it's 3 for the whole thing, and then the hole is 0.375. Make that for construction. Grab this hole, pattern that, cut through all. 2.864 is the correct answer. Very straightforward model when you've got time to go through and plan it out. That was pretty cool. All right, let's look at the next one. So we'll watch these 2 matches, then we'll go do some more practice models. All right, I want to see another one. I want to see who wins. I haven't seen who wins, so no spoilers. Let's skip through. They're getting lined up. Okay, here we go. More ads. Sorry for the ads. Uber Eats. Nice. And Victoria's urgent care services. Okay.
Dom has been a competitor in many of our tournaments. He's given us some of the best matches we've ever seen. And he says, my hands still get a little shaky. That is so cool.
All right.
All right, guys, here we go. This next CAD battle between Jakob and MrAlex, SolidWorks versus SolidWorks, begins in 3, 2,
Make sure
1.
I get a screenshot.
Go! What is the mass of this part in x.xxx pounds? Once again, another model in inches. This is crazy. We've got our 2 European competitors here, and they are getting
I'll
all...
just mute Toby while we have a look at this. So, again, symmetry. Tier 3. We see a slot shape very quickly and a couple of extrudes. So it should be, I would think, we do the top view, do the slot. Because it's so simple and so quick, I wouldn't worry about the symmetry in this one. Like, I wouldn't worry about just trying to do it half. You do a full slot, center point slot out. You do extrude up. I would put those 2 holes, those 1.5 mil diameter holes through there, extrude up, and then go back to the front view and do the other bits and the fillets. In saying that, Jakob's approach, it's okay, but you can see where he's getting stuck a little bit just with the selected contours that he's got to select. MrAlex, he loves his symmetry, so he's doing half. He's getting that radius in there, which is really neat. So this fillet on that edge, it's a little bit bigger. There we go. I like the way he set it up. He needs to get rid of that flat bit at the bottom. So all he has to do, I'll just pause it. So he's got this line here across the bottom. You see in this sketch, this line here that he's got, if he continued that line all the way across to the left, then he'd be able to select that whole contour without having that little round bit on that bottom edge. And that's what probably costs him a little bit of time. You can see at Jakob on the left, he's got that rectangle that goes all the way through, so he's able to select that contour. So that, I don't know who wins, but I'm going to suggest that impacts MrAlex a little bit there. So Jakob's now got that solid body. He needs to do that little offset front face, which he's using his sketch selected contours to bring it out. Hasn't quite got it right on that first attempt. And he's got it now. Then he's got some fillets to add and holes to add. MrAlex is doing his half. So he's got that hole on the outside. He's already got his full round fillet going around. The red oak is very difficult for viewing, I must say. He sees that bit on the bottom now, so he's going to cut that off. Whereas Jakob on the left, he's done one hole. He needed to do both holes in the same one. Mirroring, okay. It takes a little bit of time. He's missing the fillet. You want to get in there very quick to get those 2 fillets selected and done. I'd say Jakob's going to win this one if he's got his dimensions correct. Let's hear.
1.274. That is not correct. That is not correct. So Jakob needs to reevaluate his model. 1.274 is not correct within tolerance. So very, very fast modeling. And we see MrAlex coming in with an answer. 1.236. And guys, we got ourselves a winner.
Right,
MrAlex earning those 2 points, going 2 for 2.
I liked the method that Jakob had. But I'm going to guess that somewhere in his sketch here, he's got 11. He's got the 1.75 on the side, his holes. So somewhere he must have gone wrong with some of those features. And it's a bit hard to tell exactly where. But yeah, that's the game. Well done, MrAlex. All right, so let's have a quick go at this model. I should first save this other one. Let me save it. Apologies while I bring up the file name. This is the World Champs 2025, Comps 2025. Okay. 25. Flange coupling. No, don't want that. A little bit of green color. All right, and now let's do this version here. Save. All right, so how would I go about this one? Red Oak IPS. I think I'd see the slot. I think I've learnt that with the slots, if you can just get it done fast, that's the way to go. So I'd be drawing my slot like this, 3, I get my center point here, 8, get my 2 holes in place. So the hole size, 1.5, 1.5, extrude straight up. I've got my thickness, 1.75. All right, that's everything you need from that view. Everything else now, apart from the fillets, is from the front view. So go to the front view, I get my circles in place. So I'm just going to draw them. I'm drawing a 2, I'm drawing a 3, I'm drawing a 4. All right, they're all lined up. I'm going vertical to origin there, and their center point, I didn't notice, but the center point is there. All right, so that should be really quick and easy. If I select this edge and convert it, all right, then I've got all the contours I need to do everything I need for this extrude. So I'm just going to select that outside one, right? I'm going to select that. Now, what I probably should have done is put this sketch on the front plane, because then when I do my extrude and I select the contour, even though I have to do 2 selections, now I can just go up to surface and go up here. That's pretty quick. I'm going to do the same thing again, select these contours, and I want to go, there's a few ways I can do this. I'd just go 0.25 offset, and then I go offset from surface, this one, 0.25, reverse. So that's done. And then I could either cut or just use a delete face. Everyone loves a delete face. And then fillets. We're going to fillet with a 0.75 on both sides. Then we check our number and it is 1.236. I think that was the answer. $1.274.
Tolerance, so very, very fast modeling, and we see
delete face pretty good. Yeah, not sure if I've got the right answer. Just waiting for, I think I've had a freeze here.
MrAlex coming in with an answer, 1.236. And guys, we got ourselves a winner, Mr. Alex.
Okay. Very nice. So we got the right one. Excellent. That's really good. Let's save it. But nice and quick model. Delete face. Excellent one to use in that case. 90-degree rod mount. Yeah. All right. Congratulations, Mr. Alex. On to the next round. And bad luck to Jakob, but thank you for having a crack. All right, let's jump into our next model, which is going to be a tier 4. Back to some practice models. Hello, PK. Funny you ask, PK. Maybe he will at some point. Maybe not this competition, but a little bit of Toby and I have been chatting, and he says maybe the next tournament might be in a different time zone. So let's see what happens. See what happens there. Okay. Next model, tier 4, 3D print. Let's reveal and open it up. It is a millimeters ABS part. Mm, 3D printed jig. Okay, there is some symmetry in this, but it's not really the type where you would save a lot of time by modeling it in half. Tricky bits in this, understanding where and when's the best time to do cuts or extrudes, so additive or subtractive modeling. Yeah, let's just get it done and then look to see how we can make it more efficient. Cool. All right. Front plane. Would we do this shape first? I'm going to say yes. We could actually do, if I use this as the origin and I draw out this side, and I can go 40 and 130. I have an exploitable model, possibly. Now, my nature is not to use Ivan exploits, because I like to do everything by the book. It's not to say that I should do it that way all the time, but I often just do. We have a 35 there and 23. Why'd you do that, eh? All right, so I'm just getting all the shape done. Trim that out. And this has, we want to put our 35 circle in here, get it midpoint aligned, and then get these two to be tangent. That's going to give us those two at the top, and if I trim that away, we'll be able to use that later, or actually now. And should we mirror? I'm actually thinking maybe we should, because I can then, it might just save me time if I only have to do certain things once. So let's go at 40, and then the bit that's in the middle, I can reuse that sketch. I'm just going to select these two contours here, because this bit is going to be 7.5 like that. Okay, so I've got that little detail done. Already got that top edge done. Now on this face, I'm going to do my circles, so everything that you can see on this side view. Now I'm going to draw a few ways you can do this. I've seen a lot of other people do a line like this to guide their dimensions. Instead of doing like a circle and dimensioning it, actually just put it in like this. And then you can use that, make it coincident. This has a, it's got a through hole and then a little depth cut on the front. So let's do that. Should we do that in Hole Wizard or not? Probably not. What else should we draw? We should probably draw this shape. And I'm even thinking, I'll just draw that line in. This is tangent here, so make that tangent. Yep. I think that's all we need on this view. So I'm going to extrude. I can just extrude half, that is fine. I'm going to go, how far does it come off the back? It doesn't tell you. Simple contour right out of the gate. You can make that sound extension. Yep. All right, so this is going 60. And I want to offset it 50. So this is one way to do it. And then I'm going to use the same contour. This one's only going to be 20. That's going to merge it. And then I've got that rib in the middle. That's on this side, which how's that? It's a big arc. Kind of like this. Across, down and across. That is tangent. That is vertical. The arc radius is 90. I really want to work it out here. 25 to the start. So put that dimension in, 25. Then that's fine to be up there, because I'm just going to extrude that out 7.5. Right, and then we can do our Hole Wizard. We want to have custom size of 20 by 30 by 7. And our position is here. And then we're going to mirror the whole body. And if we've done everything right, that's the answer, 517. Okay. Not bad. Submit. And let's save. I think there might be a little bit we can get more efficient on this one. Just a little. Like it's kind of it's a bit different. You're using a lot of cuts and extrudes. The symmetry does help. So I do like including it. What can we tweak in this one? Because we've done extrude, 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 extrude. And then a cut and a mirror. Could we put that sketch into our first sketch? Probably. So that second sketch is this arc. So we want to come up like this with a radius of 90, the starting point 25. We want those to be tangent. And then the height that it needs to go up not that high. Oh, I've had a thought here. We could do the line. Because we could just have a line here for that circle. That might actually be quick. Let me show you what I mean. Do that extrude. 20. All right, so that's 10 there. And it's just difficult to get the dimensions to that center line. Because the height is 115 minus 24. So from here to here, put the maths in like that. I draw this one up to here, and then I need a line that's from there to there. That is 20 off. Okay, so we could do the sketch like that. Now I'll show you how this will work. We still have this first, but then when we do this extrude on the bottom, we're going to select this contour as well. This one. Okay, so that saves us time from doing that extrude in a separate way, like a separate feature. 2-in-1. And now the circle, this is where we can use that sketch line and just do a sweep. Here's the difficulty. I need to do a circular profile. I need to do selection manager, select that edge, and then put it in 48. That's what I want to do, like that. Okay, so then I can skip this one. I'm gonna just delete that, I'll come back to it. So this sketch then, I don't need that circle, I don't need that line. What I can do when I'm sketching this is convert, sketch, 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 tangent, and then extrude. That'll be fast. So I don't need this feature here. I do my counter bore. Now that's just lost its plane. We can put that back on pretty easily. So that whole wizard, that'll be pretty quick. And then we mirror. 517, all right? That's going to be the way to do it. So this will be a fun one to do nice and fast. Tier 4, let's see the time to beat. I think my guess is about 1:40. Top 100, 1:20 from Dindy. It's very fast. Very fast. No Ivan exploits on the fastest times, I'd say. All right. So ABS, millimeters. Let's just remember some of the dimensions. All right, this sketch is going to take a little while to do, but pretty straightforward. Maybe, I was going to say maybe I can work out how to do that without deleting it afterwards, but I think that's fine. So we're going to do that sketch. So we're going to do extrude, extrude, sweep. Extrude on the end, hole, mirror, done. All right. Save this. New file. Millimeters ABS. Let's give it a go. Three, two, one, Go. Front plane. 140 by 130. And then lines. So I'm going straight up. 20. Straight across. 35. Down. And I'll dimension it. 23. Put a circle in that's 35. Get rid of, I should have done the circle last. Bugger. Circle in now. Midpoint. Select it. Vertical. Circle. Tangent. Trim. Done. Radius. 20. Here. Good. And then an arc. Arc is going to have a radius of 90. Good. I want to go up. No, I just want to go across a line that's going to be 60 long. And the height of that is going to be 115 minus 24. It is 10 out from the side. It has a 25 mil start point for the arc. Those two tangent. And there is another line up here, which is 20 millimeters from here. All right. So now we can extrude. We're extruding 40 blind. We're just selecting that feature. Good. Then we're going to select the contours and go 7.5. We're selecting this one, this one, and this one. Good. We're selecting sweep, circular profile, selection manager, select the line. The size of this is 48. Yes. Then on this face, sketch, convert edge, sketch, sketch, get a tangency, another sketch here. Extrude. We are, I've done it on the wrong face. I have to fix that. That's going to cost me a few seconds. So I've got to select this face instead. Okay, that's done. Hole wizard should be fast. Just got to get my position right. And then mirror, bodies, done, answer 517. You can make that line tangent, but you can actually all right, cool. 2 minutes 36, a little bit slow. Do we get in the top couple? I think so. Second. We'll take it. We'll take it. All right. Another one done. That was okay. All right, we'll do a tier 5 model, also a 3D print. Then we'll watch the next 2 live streams. But before we do that, I just need to grab a drink. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Thanks. Oh, cool. Heads. Catch up. Heart-shaped fork panel was kind of peculiar yesterday in Model Monday Live. Yep, we've had that one before. I showed a few ways to do it at the start of this. So, yeah, check that out. I've got some stuff to show you. The next model. It's a bit of a work in progress, but I am curious if there's anyone interested in joining along with this next project that I'm doing, which is a larger ongoing type project. But I'm sure previously, if anyone's subscribed, you would have seen some of my Build and Learn series with Lego. This is the next one I'm doing, and I'm about to start it soon. I'm going to do it a little bit differently. Each time I'm doing a model, I'm doing it with a new experiment. In this one, because we're starting to build up a bit of a library, there's a bunch of parts that we've already done before. All the green ones here. So the orange and the yellow ones are going to be the ones that I'm going to do in the live streams. And then when we get to the end, we're going to assemble everything into the bike. And then where that's going to go is into what I'm building here is a bit of a database of parts. And these parts are tied to tutorials, also the SolidWorks parts and step files, and difficulty levels. And eventually, different models. So you can see this is one we've done before. I haven't released these quad bike and front loaders, but we've already modeled all the parts. You can actually put the assemblies together and have a play around. So yeah, it's something I'm working on. There'll be a place for all of this stuff to live. I am curious to hear if anyone had any questions or thoughts about how I should go about it or wanted to join in. Know when the streams are happening, that sort of thing. So anyone that's watching live now or watching the replay, leave a comment, and when I get around to launching or noting it, I'll make some posts about it and invite everyone to join in. But that is what's coming up in the next couple of weeks, if not sooner. All right, next we're going to do this Tier 5 model. Tier 5 model, and then we'll go back into the two tall Toby stuff. Hats, awesome, thanks. Check it out. Gummy, absolutely, you can go with Onshape. My lessons will be in SolidWorks, but all the files I prepare, I do export in step files, so you can use them, although you won't have parametric ability that SolidWorks has. You can see the finished parts, import them, and use them in your own assemblies. I assume Onshape can import step. I've never actually tried or asked someone that before. Let's jump into the next model. And this one is another 3D print, ABS, Tier 5. And it's Tier 5 because of some of the trickier angles that are included in the model. All right, so let's have a look at some of the detail. So there is symmetry. Symmetry will help with the hole wizard. And the radiuses doesn't help much with the weird extrude and purple and yellow fillets. I think this one we would do with a sketch all the way from the front plane. I'm going to show you what I mean. So let me see something like this. We know that that shape, it's kind of at an angle, right? So it's difficult to get a plane on an angle. On that plane, draw your circle and then extrude along that plane. That takes a bit of setup work. You don't have to do it. We can see that that circle here has a 45 millimeter diameter, and we've got a through hole as well. We don't have this dimension, but we've got all this stuff with the angles that's going to set it up, and that's where this 40 comes into it. So if we do these sketches, we obviously do the outside shape that we can see here, but we do another sketch which goes from here up, and then we do a construction line here. We will be able to get this 30 millimeter dimension in and this 40 millimeter dimension. And then, like I showed in the last model, we can do a sweep, which will do that circle all the way along the path. The countersink at the end is easy. Like that's a hole wizard thing we could do. I'm pretty sure these holes pretty easy. So yeah, it really is just that kind of tricky element of being able to understand and read the drawing, where there's no dimension here, but it's the other information that's going to lead you to that answer. All right. So let's give it a go. Let me just bring it back on screen. All right. So everything on the front plane. And we just start by drawing the easy sketch. So I'd say it says extrude half, revolve the upper part, cut, draft the 60 countersink, cut again the through hole, the hole, the fillets, and the mirror. Yep. I'm going to extrude half. Then I'm going to sweep. If I need to do a delete face to clear the end of the sweep, then I will. Then I'll do the cut through with the countersunk. I'll do the other holes. I'll do the fillets, and then I'll mirror. Okay? 42. Don't have this dimension here. That's annoying. It's 20. And then I think I should have sketched the other way. So it should go up like this. 50, 175. Just going to go down a little bit. Again, go down here, and there. And then put in some more dimensions. 42, 95, 30, and then our lines. So I'm going to do a solid line here. I'm going to do another line here, and a line like this. Put this one at the middle of that. Make those two parallel. Make these ones for construction. Add a, do we need a diameter then? No, maybe not. Put the dimension in, 60. 60 is fine. Put the 40 dimension in, which is from the top to here. And the 100, that's why I needed this construction line as well. I didn't notice this before. But I need this one, that. All right. Yeah. I believe that's all we're going to need. So now let's extrude. So we're going to extrude 50, and I've got these two contours, and then we're going to do the sweep, circular profile. So I have to right click in this box and go selection manager. Then I can select this line, press the tick. Then I can put the diameter in. And the diameter of this is the 45. Right. Now there's no option. There is an option to align with end faces. But you see how it's going like all the way through the bottom? That's a bit annoying. So I'd rather keep it here, because then I can just delete face that bit afterwards. If I do it like this, I can probably delete face it too, but it's an extra click. Either way, it's fine. So sweep that. And then our countersunk hole. So I'm going to do a hole wizard, custom size. The through hole is 16, and the angle is 60, and the top width is 36. Let's see if this works. Looks pretty good. Yes, that's true, but if I want to do the revolve, I have to do more of the sketch. Maybe that's quicker. Maybe. Could be. Maybe it is. I think we'll come back to that and have a look at it at the end. What else do we have to do now? So we've got a radius of 16 here. I've got a hole wizard to go on the top here, which is this one. Custom size 11 by 20 by 7. It is not at the center point of this. It's in a little bit, so I have to do some dimension work to say 55 divided by 2 and then 25. All right, that's that hole. And then we've got some fillets. So we've got fillet here, which is 10. Now this does not look right at all. We'll have to come back and change that. I think that's the bit where we're going to get stuck. Yeah, we need the tombstone shape. This one. Yeah. So the tombstone shape is probably what makes this not work and require an extrude. The way we can do it is do a shape like that, get that tangent, and then extrude up to next. So we've got to get that tombstone shape like that. All right, now that's good. Fillet on this edge. 6, and now I think it's ready with a delete face needed at the end. 572, the answer. No, we're wrong. We're missing something. What are we missing? Good test. Let's do some checks, yeah? Dingus on the bottom. You're right, yep. Look at those. That is quite annoying. Get rid of them. 572 is the answer. 572. No. 572. 571.8. So it's not. So we're still wrong. Where are we still wrong? Good challenge now. We'll have to go through and tick off some dimensions. Just use a snipping tool. Just get this here. All right. So if you haven't seen this practice before, when you get to this point of a model and you've done the whole model, still getting the wrong answer, you want to go through and check all your dimensions one by one. Just to check them off on the drawing. Now, the easiest way to do that is to take a screenshot, use the trim tool and then the markup tool to just cross out the dimensions as you go through. Shout out to Victor K, who taught me this technique. So I'm going to select that first sketch and I'm going to look at all the dimensions and just make sure I've got them going to the right points. So some of them are quite easy. Like 50, easy. 42, easy. 95, easy. 175, done. 30, good. 60, good. 100, yes. Countersink we'll come back to. Now the 40 is also from that edge to the top. Yes. And we've got a fillet of 6. I know that that one's correct. I know we've got 10 and the 6. All right, so now let's go through the next parts. Let's do a section view just to see how that looks. Is our angle correct? I believe so. We've got 36 for the hole, which is here, the countersink. 16 through, we've got 22.5 for the radius. I think we've got something wrong. Or is it just too... Why would you do that, Toby? I guess it's 45 wide. It's the same thing. We'll come back to it. But the countersink looks good. 60 degrees. Let's go to our top view. So then we've got a fillet there, 16 in 2 places. We've got these holes, which was 55. Yep. And 25. And then the dimensions, 20 by 7 by 11. It's all correct. We've got the 100 here. All right. Any tips? Any tips? Any tips? 571, 572. Tolerance plus or minus 1 gram. I can't see anything funny going on. I have a dimension from edge here to edge 45. That is correct. I have a radius here of 22.5. That's correct. Center point of this circle to this edge. Not a clean number, but that's okay. What could it be? Let's save it and we'll keep going. Tapered hole jig. Let's just have a couple of views like this to see if we can pick up anything else. Everything looks good from that view. Five, 6, 8.54. 5, 6, 8, 5, 6, 9. You are incorrect. 5, 6, 8.54. Incorrect. Wait, tangent lines look right. Let's see if there's been any other people get this one right. I'm going to assume there is. Yep. No speed runs, no tutorials. Okay. So we are all doing something wrong on this. I mean me. All right. The next step of checking. Different materials. No. No. Not going to do that. The next step of checking is repeat the drawing. Nah. It says ABS. There's no way that that's going to be it. Trust Toby too much. Let's do a drawing. Let's just see what comes up. So here I'm repeating the dimensions that we can see. Now I've done this before and then accounted the error. All right, it is viable to do this. You're probably going to lose in a speed modeling comp, but you will work out the answer. Everything there looks good. All right, I'll try those, I'd say, if we don't get anywhere with this. All right, so top view, 25, 55, 20, 11, 7. Nothing so far. 100. And we get, this is going to be 45. True, 22.5. And purple fillet radius 10. Four, 3, 4, 7. No. And 1505. No. Neither of those. I assume everyone else is having as much trouble as I am on this. Oh, 39.5. 39.5. What has happened there? Have I found a mistake? Probably. I think my Artse's probably found it as well. Look at that. I think that's it there. I think it's a flaw in our work to do this. But it shouldn't be midpoint. Let's try to fix this. So that should be 22.5. And then the answer becomes 573.9. Yep. Yep. Well done, I'd say. We got it. No. Wasn't the sweep, it was the sketch. That was my mistake, but a very tricky thing to point out. So 574 is the answer. Correct. Let's submit. All right, so to explain what happened, now that I've seen it, could explain it. This, I didn't have that dimension because the dimension isn't on the drawing. You don't actually need that. I'd assumed that this line here was going to be 45, but it wasn't. You can see it's 46.188. And so when I did this midpoint, it was in the wrong position by a very, very small amount. It should have been just off ever so slightly. So if I look here, the midpoint, it's here. So that difference of basically 0.6 of a millimeter is what led to the incorrect dimensions. Good lesson. Very good lesson. All right, so we got the answer. Let's get our screenshot. Let's do a quick run. And then let's look at some more live stream. All right, so first, how we can speed this up. We definitely need to do that a bit better. We can do this sketch all in one, take out the whole wizard at the same time. But I kind of think we should take it out of here and put it in its own sketch. Or not. I don't want that. I don't want that point. I could do that line, but I need, that would be a construction line. So I would have this one solid. I would then have like this all the way down. So this would go to 30. This goes to 36. And then the through hole was 16. Okay, so we sketched that. All right, so we ditch then the sweep. This one. Instead, I'm going to look at this sketch here. It's going to revolve that little section there, which would be a bit weird. But I'm going to select that contour. Do I just need to do the top one? Maybe. That would work. Then I need to cut that hole all the way through. It doesn't go all the way to the bottom, but it doesn't need to. And I've got this little weird section here as well. That's the tricky bit that catches people out, that one underneath. So I can't delete face here. That's not going to work. I have to wait till it's mirrored, but that's okay. I have saved myself a step. I do have to fill in this section. With this boss extrude. That's okay. Going to put it on that face. Going to go tangent on that edge. And then when I do this extrude, I'm going to select contour to only do that section. Then I'm going to ditch this, put the fillet in, do that hole, put this fillet in, last fillet, mirror, delete face. Now it doesn't want to go all the way through. Can you just extrude a split slot? Yes, but I have to get a plane there first. I'm doing everything here to avoid putting a plane there to do a sketch on for the slot. Because to create a plane, I have to do this same construction geometry to get a plane in the right spot and then do a sketch on the plane. And I think it's slower, kind of slower. The main issue now is just getting rid of this bit here, this hole. I wonder if I can clear it out. Nope, not like that. That's going to be tricky. Do the part as extrude and fillet it. So no plane. Yeah, I could. I could do that. So that would be on the front plane here. Maybe that's the, I think maybe that's the answer actually, guys. Could be the answer. Like this. Fillet this. This looks a little bit easier. Countersunk hole through all, fillet. Um, 16. Oh, is it at the countersink? Yeah. I think that is quicker. I think that is quicker than a revolve. So we take that out. It also means we don't have to do this extrude here. And we don't even have to do a delete face either. That's quicker too. Got the answer, 574. Yeah. All right, so now we can clean up the sketch because we just need that triangle. That's really neat, guys. Well done. Very, very neat. I can delete this. I can delete this. Do I even need this one? Don't need that. Leave that. Don't even need that. That becomes our sketch. Yeah? That's going to be really fast. Can almost memorize that. 50, 175. Oh, I can't do that one. But that looks really good. I lose that hole. Just going to use that edge though. That's fine. I avoid full round fillet so the camera can't cover it, but yeah, that's a great approach. It's not even a full round fillet. It's just half. Just this one here. Just a normal fillet on that edge when you do the mirror. SolidWorks at least. Okay, so this is what we're going to go with. Let's do our speed run and then move on. All right. We're going to close that. New file. Good troubleshooting. Millimeters ABS. Front plane. All right, and here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. $50. 175. Down, angle, down, across. 42. 30. What are we? An angle, 95. And then we've got this one here, here to there. That angle is 60. Dimension is 100. And this dimension is 40. Great. Now we've got 50 out this way. And then we want to go 22.5 out this way. 22.5. And this one is 16. And what's next? This one, 10. This one, 6. Here, hole wizard. Which hole wizard do we have? We've got the countersink, so we'll actually change face. Put it here first. Just find that center point through all. And then we do our second hole wizard, which will be counter bore, which is 11 by 20 by 7. Position here. This is not quick. Could do this a bit quicker, I think. Is that everything? What about? I know the answer. 594, 574. Oof, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Not bad. Could be a minute 30, but TIFF 5 model. We are number 1. That's good. Thank you for all your help, guys. We did really well to get through that. Awesome. Awesome. All right, let's look at the next models from tournament. I'm keen to see what came out for the last 2. Let me skip ahead to where they're at. New sponsors.
My 3-step program. Get the
Jen, all good, mate. You know what I'd say? Very useful support, helping us find those errors. Okay, Dom and Lotos. I back Dom. Dom very fast. Lotos good too. We'll focus on Dom because he's doing the SolidWorks.
Runners are jumping into their CAD system to try to turn this into a 3D model. And like I said, the Wheel of Fate is very cruel today. We teed up a sheet metal manufactured part for the one guy in the tournament who probably does more sheet metal than anybody in the tournament, none other than Dom. But I don't actually know Lotos's sheet metal experience. So for all I know, he may also be a sheet metal wizard.
All right, yeah. I think Dom is pretty good at sheet metal. I'm not very good at sheet metal. He's using the sheet metal tools. It's a tier 3, so you have to be very fast. Yes. Yeah, I definitely rate Dom. I like how he's using the construction lines. I haven't even had a chance to look at the model, and he's like halfway done. So he's doing these cuts in the same sketch, so the holes, both sides. You probably also do that radius in there, the R12. I wonder if he's going to do that. He's just drawn the geometry, put the sketches in, put the dimensions in. I would use exactly the same method. Yep, got the radiuses in. Then you can do cut through all. They're done. On the bottom edge, you can use break corner for those two edges. A little trick with the break corner. I'll just rewind that a little bit. So when you're using the break corner tool, you don't have to select the edge. You can select the face. So again, a bit like fillets. If you want to fillet both edges that are connected to a face, you select the face, it'll fillet both edges. Break corner works the same way. So if you have multiple fillets or edges to cut the corners off, instead of selecting the two edges here, you can see he does it in a second. He could just select that one face, save in 2 seconds. But yeah, very quick. Oh, that's it. That's the whole model. I reckon he's probably got the answer right.
Book coming in with an answer 1039 grams, and that is correct. And congratulations to Dom. Wow. Even showing us a flat pattern of that thing for extra points. Wow. And
okay, very, very good. Let's give it a go. As a tutorial, like there's not much I could improve on from that, but I'll just slow it down and maybe explain a few things. In this example, so let's go right plane to start, and we want to do this S shape that we can see on screen, and we want to use the dimensions that are obvious to us. So 100, and we can go up. If we go up the full height, 150, what will happen is our part will get even taller because we're actually sketching one sort of face of the sheet metal. So I have to take the thickness off, which is the 5. So if we go up 145, then we'll be good. And then we do this last one here. We can go another 40. That still works. All right. And you can actually see it's got the 145 in the brackets. So that's fine. Then we can hit the sheet metal, and we want to get our distance right, which is 140. We go mid-plane. We could do symmetry here, but this is a pretty quick model. I don't think you need to. Thickness of 5 and 8 for the bend radius. And then just make sure it's going the right way. So in this case, I want a reverse direction. Press OK. All right, so then we get to this point. So we just got to do those cuts. So by having that sketch in the middle and going mid-plane, I can use that sketch to select for my circle. And I can put this in at 75. And then get the dimension to the center point of the circle as 65. And then I would do one of these rectangles, which is... what's 140 minus, it's 40 by 40, right? And then you could select this corner, do the radius, which is going to be 12. Exit tool, right plane mirror, select, okay, extrude cut through all both, done. And then the last one, break corner. So what I was talking about here, we get the dimension, which is 40, and instead of clicking on the two edges like this, just select the face. And then that's it. And then I believe the answer was 1039. I'm pretty certain it was. And we can see the flat pattern works. So yeah, very neat. Tier 3 sheet metal. I'd probably be okay with this one, but I think Dom would still beat me. Probably comfortably. Because he's pretty good. Let's save it. Move on to the next one. Metal, steel, brushed, screenshot. All right. Let's see what comes up next. Yep. Yeah, I reckon you could, Jen. All right.
And Lotos, that was a tough model. Like I said, Dom has quite a bit of sheet metal experience, and I think we all saw that in that run.
Another ad. So you're watching the ads. Gives money to Toby, right? It's good. Don't mind it. Okay. Let's have a look at this.
World Championship of 3D CAD speed modeling, featuring Lotos from the Ukraine using Compass 3D, and Dom from the United States using SolidWorks. Our number 6 seed versus our number 10 seed begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? We are back to metric. That's what we like to see. Both of our runners are grabbing.
All right. This one, yeah, symmetry. This is one you would definitely want to do half, I think, because of the holes and those little tabs on the sides. But Dom, probably like me originally, would, you know, there is an urge to do it all, like in that first sketch, and mirror everything. So, yeah, let's see if it. I don't think it's going to cost him because I think he's so quick. I think this matchup is a really good example of someone super quick, Lotos, in the qualifying period, but when it comes to the one-on-one battles, seeing something live for the first time, Dom's got a lot of experience. I haven't matched up against Dom, but we've been in the same competitions together, just on other sides, other brackets. So yeah, Dom flying so far. But, you know, he's done that first extrude all the way up, and now he's going to have to cut material down. I'm not sure if that's the quickest way to do this one. I would have done my first extrude as the 16mm extrude here. Okay, so it just goes up a little bit of thickness. And then build up the tabs on the outside like he's doing now, but he's going to have to cut away the material. Yeah, Muddle Money Live, very good barometer. I often watch the replays and would time myself against those guys. I've done some videos of that in the past. Yeah, Muddle Money Live, Aaron C, Rambros, Matab, too quick. Hello, Matab, speaking the devil. There he is. All good, mate. How are you? We're just watching Dom dominate in this model. Let's listen to Toby. See if he was talking about
SolidWorks giving him a hard time. Oh, wow. So, wow, guys, make sure you go back and watch that. Dom had that sketch open. SolidWorks was trying to force him to make it a thin feature, and he said, nope, I'm just going to use contour selection. Wow, 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 wow. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. And Dom looks like he may be coming in with an answer here. We're going to watch the chat. We're going to watch the chat.
Extrude cut mirror.
Wow, wow, wow. That was,
good.
guys, make sure you go back and watch it. That's like a clinic on how to repair a sketch. And Dom comes in with his answer, 387 grams. And that is correct. And we got ourselves our second winner.
Nice one,
moving
Dom.
on to
the... All right, so... Yeah, we can see his feature tree here. So he started with the extrude all the way up. That's what I'd just do differently. But same number of sketches and features, that may still work out to be the same speed. Again, it's tier 3 models at this stage of the tournament, so they are really quick. Probably the place where I'd struggle potentially the most up against anyone that was good, because I'm not as fast hands. Millimeters ABS. That's how we go. So I would see this and do the symmetry side. But would I be wrong? Maybe. Top plane. Because you could even do a quarter of this, right? If you could do the maths. So if you go 40 by 90, I'd have to very quickly find the dimensions I want. So I want like 20. And the slot, thankfully, it's like a center point slot, so I just do that. And the slot is 16. Okay, so you could do that. Extrude that up 16. Okay, that's reasonably quick to do. Then front plane, I'm going to do I'll do the outside of that circle, 36 and 24. 72 and 48. Do a line through the middle. Actually do a line like this. And do the line here to go to 50. Get that in the middle, and then extrude this one. So I'm just selecting that contour, and that one is going out 50. Yeah, quarter. These yellow sides are square, right? So I wonder if I then use this face, I have to do so I'm doing a sketch like this, which is there's 25 there. And from there to there is 50. But I also want to join in this section. And then I get a few errors, so I'd probably change that. Oh, muck that up a little bit. That one's not mid-plane. That should be vertical. Like that. Extrude up to surface. No. Up to next. No. Up to surface on the underside. No. This is where I get a little bit stuck, actually. Because going up on the underside is not going to be the one. And up to next doesn't work because it doesn't come all the way out. All right, so maybe there's a better way of doing it than this. However, I could do this and do a quick delete face. And then we've got the double mirror. So the double mirror, we select two faces. We select our body, we select merge. Is that everything? 380? Was that the answer? One of my dimensions looks a bit wrong. Could be right. Let me just see what the answer was.
Very, very impressive. Ooh, looks like he's
Get a topper.
Yeah, the up to next. I think there's an easy way of doing it, which I'll get to in a second. Come on, ads. Have I missed something? 76. Well, I've got the 100. And 76 is this bit here, right? Is it a bit thicker in the middle? From there to there. I think that's the one I've missed. But that's this sketch here that I could change. So that just becomes like this. 38. $387. I think that's what we'll find it is.
SolidWorks giving him a hard time. Oh, wow. So, wow. Guys, make sure you go back and watch that. Dom had that sketch open. SolidWorks was trying to force him to make it a thin feature. And he said, nope, I'm just going to use contour selection. Wow, 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 wow. That is amazing. Holy smokes. And Dom looks like he may be coming in with an answer here. We're going to watch the chat. We're going to watch the chat. Wow, wow, wow. That was, guys, make sure you go back and watch it. That's like a clinic on how to repair a sketch. And Dom comes in with his answer. 3.
Okay. Sweet. So that's the one. Yeah, so number of features, same, 5 features. Delete face. Yeah. With this kind of easier model, tier 3 model, so many ways you could do it, which we see in the qualifying. These guys work out super speedy ways of doing things. This might not quite be absolute most efficient, but it is definitely one way that you can have a go at it. Let's save it. Just get a quick image, and then we'll move on to our last model of the night, I think. Or we might do one more after that. We'll see. See how we're going with time. All right, so congrats to Dom. Great work. He's going to be a very hard matchup in a tab if you're against him. I haven't seen the brackets. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to go. All right, let's do the last one that we picked out, which was a tier 6. Now, I have done this one before, so I think we'll open up the model. I think this was from the last tournament, and it is called a circular grill top. Some of the details have probably changed. Let's see if I can find it. Heck, you've got the next matchup. Cool. Circular grill top is here. We've done it. Good luck, Hets. Hope you've got all your shortcuts and hotkeys in order and your templates. That's what you will need. All right, this is a tier 6, and there are quite a few ways of doing it. Now, the drawing will be very slightly different to what you see on my screen because this is the copy from the last variety tournament. But it is an awesome model to have a go at. Yeah, good luck, mate. So, let me explain my process for this one and what I can see off the bat. So, first up, you do the outer ring first. You use the 250 for the OD. You could actually see the thickness of 4 millimeters and even make your circle 248 and then use it as a sweep to create the circular profile. You want to get that done first because then you want to start putting your wires on top. And I think in the example that where I did this one, I did one all the way through the middle, pattern that one, cut the outside off, and then it's all about how quick you can do this little jog section on these two special ones. And you just want to do that once and then mirror that to the other side. So I think in the linear pattern, you can actually skip that instance. That's one way of doing it. Let's see how I did it last time I modeled and see if it was a similar method. Okay, so we've done the sweep on the outside first. I've done a boss extrude. Yep, easy, right? You just do one circle and you're just extruding it all the way through. Linear pattern, skipping one, okay? And at this point, we're only going one direction because we're going to mirror later. And then this last one is the sweep. So for this one, that's how I've done it. Okay. All right. So let me explain. I've used those two lines and the front plane to find the location for a circle, which I'm going to use as the profile in my sweep. And then to create the path, I'm using the right plane. And I'm just using the center line of that and then adding in those jog features. But here's the trick with a sweep, right? The path does not need to be in the same location where you want the finished body. It's all about where the profile is. The profile's here. So as I sweep it, it's going to go very quickly in the right location. I can then come back, cut everything off, and then mirror, and we're done. You want to do 1/8. You could easily do a quarter of this in the tab, yeah, but you have to do extra mirrors with the doing extra mirrors with separate solid bodies is difficult. You would have to do it multiple times. You don't have to combine them, but maybe yeah, you just mirror all the bodies. I suppose it doesn't matter. Why don't we try it that way? We'll see how it goes. Jern, yeah, pretty cool. Both matches upsets. Upsets as far as the lower ranked people got the win. I think, yes, it's good to see. I like that too. What I think we're starting to see with these tournaments is there's a certain skill required for qualifying and getting high on the qualifying leaderboard, which is a different skill for what you actually need in the tournament. And so it's going to be interesting over time to see how that kind of plays out. Yeah, a few different ways of doing that. All right, so let's close this one and let's give this one a go. We'll get all the dimensions right and then we'll have a quick attempt. So plain carbon steel. And as I said, first we want to do the outside. In this case, the OD is 250. So if we go 248 and then we close the sketch, hit sweep, change to a circular profile, select it and make it 4. That is our first body. And if we just double check with a circle here, I do 250, you can see I got my dimension wrong. It should be 246. Sorry about that, 246. Good to check. All right. Now, on the front plane, I'm going to do the one in the middle. Again, these are 4. And I'm going to put it vertical from the origin and make these tangent. Actually, I'm just going to dimension it. 4. And I will come back to that. Let's have a journey. Change direction when you get good questions, actually. Let me keep going with this and I'll come back to those questions and points. All right, so I've done that sketch. I'm just going to go through all. Can I go through all both? No. But through all, unmerge, okay. That gets me my first one. I'm going to go right plane. Right plane gives me the direction arrow. So select right plane. I can then select my feature or body. Let's do a feature, it doesn't really matter. The distance between them, 28 between wires, which means it's 32 center to center. And I'm going to go 4. And okay. But I should in that one just go skip and skip the third one. All right. Then back on my front plane, I'm going to draw a center line between these two and then a circle here. Make that construction line. Turn it off. And then on the right plane, we're going to draw that jog. Now, per the advice we just received before, I'm going to just do one side. I think it'll be quicker. Now we can see the detail in this. There is a radius 6 and radius 10, which means it's radius 8 on the outside. And it's same for the other ones. So all going to be radius 8. The angle between them, 135. The distance between those jogs is 100. So I can just go here and make that 50. And what else do we need? We need the height, the overall height, which we can see is 24. So I'm going to go from this. Can I select that edge? Yes. See there, which is going to be 22 because it's going to the middle. I'm going to select OK, sweep, unmerge. Then I'm going to go mirror. And then I'm going to go mirror. And I should have done the cut first. That's okay. 250. Extrude cut. Through all both. Flip side to cut. Should be our answer. 227. Minutes exactly. Nice model. We will do a speed run of this in a second. Let me just save it. All right. Some really good questions in the chat here. Matab, can you change direction in linear sketch pattern? For some reason, it only allows me to set x-axis as the direction I want to vertical sketch patterns. It'll allow me to do so. Yep. Linear sketch pattern. Okay. So let's just do like a top plane. And I draw a circle and I select it and I go linear sketch pattern. I've got x-axis here, right? But if you don't want that, you want to go up, well, just change this one to 1 and change this one to 2, and you can go up. That's one option. Your other option is to put a sketch in here, a line of some sort, and do your linear sketch pattern. Select entities to pattern, and select your axis as this line. Okay, and you can use any sort of geometry. Now that line could be an edge or a sketch or some sort of reference geometry. So you can control the direction of linear sketch pattern. Great question, Matab. Jern, really hope that can be addressed somehow. The qualify versus the tournament skill set. Maybe Toby could use it in Model Monday Live somehow. Yeah. There's definitely, I don't know, needs some thinking. I would really love to see a offline tournament, but how can you judge it or facilitate it? I mean, offline, like not live, so people can take part even if they're in different time zones. It doesn't really suit. Yeah, I'm not sure on the answer there, but we'll see how things go. Yeah, agreed. This is a great model. Matab, no plane creation. That's right. No planes. Don't need planes. Avoid creating planes. I used to create planes all the time in my work, all the places, and now I barely have any planes. I'll always use like a front, top, right plane, and I'll offset from that position. Okay? Or I will use a face of a part and then offset from that face. It's very rare that I actually create a separate plane to create some geometry. Yeah, so the sweep, yeah, as I said here, you can have your profile and your path in two separate places. The path is just what's driving the shape. So the profile is the location of it. I didn't like this double mirror, but it's not too bad. And the cut's fine. I think we can do this one pretty fast. So let's have a go. Let me just get a screenshot done of this. There we go. And then we'll do our speed run, and then I'll take one request for a model after this before we finish up. Okay, so this one is a plain carbon steel millimeters. We'll just get set up first and then we'll restart. Okay, so big circle, sweep, little circle, extrude, pattern, skip an element, new circle as the path, as the profile, and then sketch on the right plane, dimension it, fill it, sweep that, mirror it, cut everything, done. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. Top plane, 246, exit sketch, sweep, circular profile, 4. Okay, front plane, new circle, 4, vertical, and 4 from the middle, extrude, yeah, through all, okay, right plane, pattern, body, tick, spacing, 32, skip feature, this one, okay, front plane, sketch, center point to center point, circle, 4, convert to construction, right plane, sketch, go line, down, up, across to the middle, 135, and make those equal. We've got to get the radiuses in. Okay, we've got to get this dimension in, which was 22, and then 50. Okay, so we select those two, sweep, come on. Okay, going to mirror the body, merge, and then mirror these bodies, top plane, circle 250, extrude cut, through or both, flip side to cut. Yes, no, what's happened there? That is not ideal. Through or both. That's cost me 227. Cost me 20 seconds. You're welcome, a tab. When you win the tournament, just gives a little nod there. If you can beat Dom. Dom is pretty good. How do we go for speed? We are number 1. Beautiful. Offset the circle lower. Which circle, Jen? I'm not quite sure which one you mean. Anyway, okay. So request practice models 250511. What tier is it? In the tab? Oh, good. Thank you, Jen. 250511. This one. Is this the one? Is this the one you want to do? Yeah. No, I don't need to save that. All right. Tier 4, aluminium alloys, flooded frame. Desk hook number 2, new sketch set shoulder. Yep. Good luck. All right, let's try this. IPS alloy. First, let's have a look at the sketch. Plan out how we're going to do it. Lots of pink notes. Lots of sweeps. Well, one sweep. 2 solid bodies. Symmetrical. Yeah. Could be tough, could not be tough. The hardest bit is just getting the path. Once you've got the path, easy. And I've used, there's a technique I've used to get these paths in the speed modeling tournaments. In last year's World Champs, there was a multi-body model that had a park bench, and it had a very complicated kind of sweep path, and I used a solid body to create that outside edge to create it. And I think you could almost do the same thing here. It's all about, we want to find this center line, right? Along this edge. Once you get the center line, the rest of it's easy. I think the rest of it's easy once you get that center line. So let me show you how I do it. I'm going to start on the top plane. I'm going to do a sketch like this, which is 17 by 26. And I'm going to go midpoint on this. Here is the trick. I'm going to delete that horizontal relation, just bring that up and make that 12. Now, I'm going to extrude this. I'm going to extrude this up 11. And then I'm going to do a radius. Yes, Jan, very good. True centerline radius 3.25. Okay. Now select this edge. I'm going to do sweep. Sorry, you got to do select sweep. Select circular profile. Right click the edge, select tangency. No, it doesn't want to do it there. Hold on. Right click here, selection manager. Select the edge, select the tangencies. Press OK. Then select your OD, 2.5. Thin feature, thickness, hollow tubes. So they are 0.25. Make sure you're going the right direction. Uncheck. Press OK. Hide this body. Ooh, make sure it's not merged as well. So uncheck merge result. When the body's hidden, it doesn't include it in your maths calculations. So if I show that body, it goes up much heavier. If I hide it, it's fine. Now, the thin feature didn't take, so I need to do that again. Press the sweep. Press circular profile. Right click selection manager. Select tangency. Press OK. Press the OD 2.5. Uncheck merge result. Press thin feature. Change the direction. Press OK. Hide the body. There's a tube. Front plane. I'm going to do my circles now, which are the same diameter. I'm just trying to work out what this view is in the middle here. Why it looks bigger there. Big, skinny. Those tubes, they're solid bars at 2.5. So what I can do is just a line that goes like that. No, that's not quite in the right spot. But maybe I could keep this body showing, because then I can do front plane. I can use that edge, 2.5. We've got two of them. they're equal. I can get the dimensions of those, so they're 11 apart. So I'm going to go 11. I'm going to grab the midpoint of that, put it above there, make that for construction. I'm going to hide this body. I'm going to extrude these up to next. I can merge them. It's fine now. And then I'm going to go on the top plane and do the slots. So straight slot. I'll get them in line afterwards, but they are 1.5. And the distance of the slot, 1816. Okay, so this one is 8. And it is 7.5 from end to end. So 7.5 divided by 2. And then that same thing here, except this one is, no, they start in the same point, so that's easy. So those two horizontal, that 1.5, this one 6. Construction line through all. Mirror. You could merge it or you could not merge it. I think we've got the answer, 30.2. Ah, incorrect. All right. Think it's not symmetrical? It says symmetrical. Check the 8th dimension. Yep, temporary axis, that's a good point, I'd say. Thank you. Temporary axis is here. I don't often use those. I've got something wrong here. What do I have wrong? What do I have wrong? Follow tubes is correct. Very top 8 and 11. Yes, I think you're right. This one. I don't think it's in the middle. I think you're correct, which is that one there, which should be, well, let's view temporary axis. Boom, boom, yeah, 8. Okay, that should do it. 30.4. Nice one. Yeah, awesome. So yeah, that workflow, pretty neat. Yeah, I really like that for those tricky kind of 3D sketches. I think it's the way to go. Let's save and finish up. This was quite actually complicated, this one. But like a little like thinking challenge. These are the kind of ones I really like. And should we do a speed run? Thanks for tap. Senadim's not giving this approach good. Yeah. You don't need to click the drop down, you can click the iron hide or reconstruction. Yeah, hide. I know that, but I like keeping some things on. All right, let's have a go at a speed run of this and see just how quick this method can be. IPS aluminium alloy. Filleted polyline. It's got a 3D sketch, and so you can go and do your lines like this. This is 3D, okay, and then you can come in and you can add fillets to them. So you can do that, but can be difficult to dimension, and as soon as you move something off like a X, Y, or Z axis, it becomes really difficult to control. I think this is what Jern means, but he might be able to say. All right, let's have a go at speed run, guys. What are we doing? Top plane? Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Go. Oh, top plane sketch. Shape was 17 by 26. Midpoint on the line. Delete that one and make that side 12. Extrude up 11. Then fillet this to 3.25. Okay. Now we're going to sweep, circular profile, selection manager, edge tangency, select, okay, 2.5, unmerge, thin feature, 0.25, make sure it's going inside, okay, hide that, turn on axes, front plane, 2.5, 2.5, 11, 8, extrude, up to next, merge, okay, top. Let's do slots, slot, slot, slot. That's both horizontal. This one is, what was it, 7.5 divided by 2. This is 1.5, 8, 1.5, 6. Extrude, cut through all, mirror. Is the answer right? Oh, where's my answer? 30.4. Nice. 2 minutes and 7. And top 100, number 1. Thank you very much. And that'll do us. End of stream. Good night, everyone. 3 hours of practice. Thanks for everyone that joined in, whether just at the end or from the start or early or whenever it might be. Appreciate that. Best of luck to those that are running in the tournament. Come to me for your coaching, practice, training. I'll get you the wins. Yeah, thank you all. Stay tuned for more of these. I plan on doing a stream almost every week of the tournament, apart from a few weeks when I'm away in mid-October. But yeah. Thanks, Gummy. I'd say Jern, Matab, Guy. Yeah, appreciate it. Jumping on. See you all soon. Bye.